Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my weekly video and thank you for watching. My name is Roel. I am a health and nutrition coach and I post these weekly videos to give you some tips to help you to be the healthiest you can be. And today I want to give you three tips to boost your success with your health goals. I think we all know that knowing what to do is one thing, and that's actually not the hardest thing. We can all find out what we need to do to achieve what we want to achieve, but actually doing it and being consistent with that and successful, that is the hard bit. And so I have three techniques that I want to share with you that I think could be helpful with that to help you to be more consistent and more successful. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We had a lovely weekend, even though the weather is autumnal, literally raining all day, every day this weekend, but I still had a really nice time. And actually it was a nice opportunity to do a few things indoors that I wanted to do, and have felt quite productive today actually, so that was quite nice. I hope you had a lovely time too, regardless of the weather. So let's have a look at these three techniques that might be helpful for you if you're trying to make some changes and to be more healthy and to see the results that you want to see. So if you know what you're doing and you've tried to implement it, but you just feel it's really difficult to either stick with it or to see the results, then I would say, firstly, make sure that you use a technique called visualization. And it might sound a little bit implausible, but if you already imagine you being as successful as you want to be, that is actually shown to have a positive impact on the outcome. So just by you imagining that you're going to be the person you want to be, say for example, you want to be this person who goes to the gym a couple of times a week, who eats healthily, who has a lot of energy, does all these activities that they want to do. Just picture yourself and see yourself already as that person, even though you are not doing that yet. Because your brain can actually not tell the difference between real or no real. So you imagining that can actually bring about neurological changes in your brain that will then make it more likely that you are going to take the action that's required to reach that goal. So I'm not saying that by just sitting there or lying on the sofa and imagining you being how you want to be, that it will just happen. Of course, we need to still take action to make that happen, but by you imagining that, you're going to make it more likely that you take that action, and that is the most important thing, otherwise nothing will happen. So it's not difficult, it doesn't cost anything, it doesn't take a lot of time, literally a minute, 2 minutes, and the more regularly you do that, the more helpful it's going to be. I like to do that before I fall asleep, so when you're in bed about to go to sleep, you might as well do visualization. So what is it? Basically, you imagine the situation that you want to be in. So you think about how you would feel when you have achieved your goals. What would people say to you? What can you hear? What can you see in a mirror? What are you doing? And the more detail you add to that, the more powerful it is. So don't just lay there and think, I want to be size 12 or whatever size you want to be, and then just say that, that's it. You really have to imagine what that looks like, what that feels like. What are people saying to you? What are you doing? Are you going to a clothes shop and are you going to choose a whole new wardrobe in your new size? And imagine how you feel when you're in the changing room and you don't mind these horrible three-way mirrors with the neon light because you're happy with the way you look, that kind of thing. So put a lot of detail into it. And it's already often used by professional athletes, football players. If any football player has to take a penalty shot, they will definitely use visualization in the few seconds before they take the shot. They will imagine that ball going into the net, the crowd rising, roaring, the teammates running at them, and they will add a lot of detail to that. So give that a go. Like I said, it only takes a few minutes, and there's no right or wrong way of doing it. You just try and make yourself feel a little bit good to start with before you do this exercise, so you're not on a little bit of a sort of a downer on yourself. Feel good about yourself. Maybe remind yourself of a time in the past where you have been successful with something, so you feel good, and then take a few deep breaths so you're nice and calm, and then just daydream. It's like daydreaming. And I would love to hear, if you try this, whether you feel that that works. And you can sort of imagine a little bit how that might work, because if you feel that you can't do something, that you're never going to be successful, you can't see it happening, you can already predict that you're not going to be that successful, because by thinking that, you're not going to try that hard. And that is where, you know, the magic comes in. It's not even magic. But because you feel that you are going to do it, you are more likely to take the action that you need to take to do it. Number 2 would be a practice called mindfulness, and you may have heard of it. It's quite the buzzword, and it's not necessarily sitting still for an hour in a lotus position and sort of meditate. It can be that, but it doesn't have to be that at all. You can practice mindfulness all the time, and that's what I like to do. I apply mindfulness throughout the day. Like, for example, you could take a shower mindlessly. If you're in a rush in the morning, you wake up, you could just stumble into the shower, and whilst you're in the shower, you start to think about, what are we having for dinner? Do I need to go shopping at lunchtime? What am I wearing? Do I have clean underwear? And you're not even noticing that you're in the shower. Or you could go in the shower and appreciate the fact that you have hot running water, that you have this beautiful shower oil that you use, which I have, and I smell it, and I really appreciate the smell, and I feel it on my skin. And I don't take more time taking a shower, but I do appreciate it more because I'm more mindful of doing it. And you can apply that to anything you do, whether that's unpacking the dishwasher, walking somewhere, literally anything you do in your daily life. You can be more mindful about it. What are you seeing? What are you feeling? It all comes back again to using your senses. How does it make you feel? What are you thinking? And that can have a really positive impact, on how you feel, and if you feel better, you do better, but also it could have a really good impact on your decision making, because if you're more mindful about what you're doing the whole time, you're more likely to take better decisions, rather than stumbling through your life like a zombie and just do shit because it's got to be done and you're not even thinking about it. This is how sometimes you can't even remember when you drove somewhere or how you got somewhere, because you were so preoccupied with other stuff that you can't even remember the journey. But if you're more mindful, then every time you do something, you can ask yourself, and it doesn't have to take a long time, but just quickly ask yourself, what am I doing here? Why am I doing it? Is this what I want to be doing? Or could I be doing something else? Is there an alternative? And if you do that, you're going to make much better decisions, especially if you apply this to your diet. If you're about to eat something, you can ask yourself, what is it that I'm about to eat? Is that going to serve me, or is that going to damage me? And if so, am I okay with that? I'm not going to lie, I am a very healthy person. 90% of the time I have a very healthy diet, but I do like some chips sometimes. I like some beer sometimes. I like a sausage roll. And there's not really a good argument for eating or drinking that stuff because it's not healthy. But because I am very healthy 90% of the time, I'm very happy to decide sometimes that I'm going to enjoy some chips or a sausage roll or a beer, and I enjoy it. I don't feel guilty about it, but I've made a conscious decision to have it, and that's where the mindfulness really comes in handy, because you're more likely then to reconsider and think, actually, I don't really need this now. What I really need is ... For example, if you're feeling stressed and you want to stuff your face with chocolate, if you stop yourself and take a few slow, deep breaths and think about it and ask yourself, do I really want to eat this chocolate? Is that actually going to help me? Why do I want to eat it? Well, I want to eat it not because it's a treat and I deserve it, but it's because I'm stressed and it will make me feel a little bit better. But is it actually going to make you feel better? Maybe it will for a minute, but then you're probably going to feel worse. And in fact, the sugar is going to be bad for your mental health and you're going to feel more anxious for eating a lot of sugar. So it's not going to help you. And then think, okay, it's actually not really going to help me. What could I do that will be beneficial in this situation? Maybe I could phone a friend. Maybe I could go for a walk around the block and just mull it over and see what I can do about this stressful situation. Maybe I can listen to my favourite music, have a bath. There are so many lovely things that you can do that can make you feel good that would be way better for you than eating chocolate. And it may not always work, but that's okay. If you start to apply this, you will get more and more used to doing it. And when you start doing it all the time, you make better decisions and the outcome will be better. So have a go at that. And then number 3 is regular reviews. I'm a massive fan of weekly goals. Review what you're doing and set yourself a little goal for the week ahead. I do that on a Sunday evening. I just look at the week gone by and without judgment, I just have a look and see what happened last week. How did I do? And firstly, I'll recognise what I did well and I will pat myself on the back for that, feel good about that. And then I will ask myself, what could I have done better? And then I'll set myself a little goal around that just for 1 week. Easy. It doesn't feel stressful. It's not daunting. It's just 1 week. And I'm going to set a goal to do one thing for 1 week only. So with me, often it is going to bed on time. I'm really bad at that. And so I might set myself a goal to do that. A realistic goal. I'm not going to say that I'm going to go to bed by 9 o'clock every night this week because that ain't going to happen. So I will say this week I will go to bed by 10, 3 nights this week or something like that. I'm not doing that this week. I should do this week, but that's not my goal this week. In fact, that should be my goal every week. I'm just dreadful at going to bed on time. But this week I'm going to focus on a particular kind of yoga move that I would like to be able to do. And it is a head or handstand, not supported. So I can do a handstand against the wall, but I would love to be able to do a handstand unsupported. And I'm not going to set myself a goal to achieve that this week because that's not going to happen. But I have downloaded a little program from a lovely yoga teacher who talks you through daily 15-minute exercises that you can do to get you closer to being able to do that. So my goal for this week is to do at least 4 of those sessions, 15-minute sessions this week. So that's very reasonable. I can do that. I will do that. And then at the end of the week, I will review it and see how much closer I am to doing that. So I've already mastered the crow pose, which I'm really pleased about. I'm not going to demonstrate, so don't worry. Look it up if you're interested. I'm pretty impressed myself, and I'm hoping to build on that. What's your goal for this week? Have a think about it. Feel free to share it. If you're watching this on YouTube, share it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Let me know if you need any help with your goal setting. Always happy to have a chat. You can find my contact details on the website. You can also have a free discovery call to see if I can help you with anything. So number 3, the weekly review. I think if you do that every week, you're never going to be in that position where you've stuck your head in the sand and you ignore the fact that you're actually not doing anything, and you know that. We always know that. It's in the back of your head, you know that, but you're thinking, oh, it's okay, it's holiday now. I'll start again in September after the holidays. Maybe you've got kids who are off school and you think, okay, yeah, when they're back at school, or when my injury is better, when I've had this operation, when blah, blah, blah. You can keep kicking the can down the road, but as long as you do that, nothing will change. And you have an opportunity, no matter what's going on in your life, to do one thing, a little thing. And if you've got a lot of shit going on, then just do one little thing, like make sure you drink enough water, take 15 slow, deep breaths every day, because that will also benefit you, and you might still be able to do that if you have other things going on. But at least you start somewhere and you review it on a weekly basis, which means that you're on it now. You're in action mode, you're doing something, and you're going to see results. And when your operation's done, or the kids are back at school, or whatever needed to happen, then you can up the game and maybe set yourself some more challenging goals. But to be honest, I would never make it very challenging, because you want to do it. So if the more challenging you make it, the less likely it is that you're going to be consistent with it, and you want to create that consistency. So 5-minute weekly reviews. How's it going? What are you not doing? Why are you not doing it? Can you do something to change that? And set yourself a little goal for the week ahead. Right, I hope you found that useful, and let me know if you didn't or if you did. And if you would like a PDF with some suggestions on why what you're doing may not be as successful as you would hoped it would be, then let me know. I have that PDF, I can send it to you. I will put a link underneath or above this video for you to click on to get that PDF. And if you can't find the link, just drop me a message and with your email address, and I will send it to you. Good luck with your health goals this week, and have a great week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Lots of love. Bye.